Hello Dojo Disciples, SeanOrange here for another Stuff Vinnk sent me. In the fullness of time you've probably seen what's inside of this box, but if you're watching this when it was first published or pretty close to it, it's going to be a total surprise to you. Actually, that's not true because it's in the title of the freaking video, right? But what might be a surprise is what's already in here. I mean, it's pretty big. So let's just take a look real quick here. Famicom games. Some more Famicom games. Ooh, Rockman 5. Famicom. What the heck is Wits? Why does it have an apostrophe in it? I promise we'll talk about all of these later. No, we're here for the big prize inside. You know, for kids. Oh, this another Famicom. Don't I already have a bunch of these? All right, wait. Now, to be fair, like 2 of these don't work. And this drive's broken on here, but you know, this still works, so these 3 are fine. So what am I doing with this? Oh, this, ladies and gentlemen, is an AV modded Famicom. Basically, it combines all the benefits of this with this. One of those benefits being the controller 2 microphone, which admittedly this already has. I mean, this is AV out. And like I said, it still works. And there's definitely a controller 2 microphone, and the controls are longer. I just really like the form factor. It is missing the extension port cover. There we go. Well, one advantage this one does have over this is that the audio output is stereo. I mean, it's not really stereo, it's still mono, it's just duplicated on the left and right channels. I guess my real excuse is that I don't have a proper power adapter for this one. Whereas this, what's in here? What? No way. No way. All right, so this is just a modern, smaller, lighter version of this. Good God. Yeah, the specs are identical. Center pin negative, 50/60 hertz, DC 10 volt output, 0.85 amps. But I mean, the big difference, apart from the form factor and how light it is this is rated for the full range of 100 to 120 volts AC. This is my second one. I already had one burn out on me. It just stopped working one day. This, I expect no such thing to actually happen to it. Wow. So I'm probably going to end up using this and just keep this one as a museum piece from now on. Unfortunately, there's like absolutely no branding on it other than it just says made in China. Or otherwise, I'd love to tell you how to get one yourself. But all I know is that Vinnk said, hey, I'm going to send the power adapter with it. It's actually not going to add too much to the weight. And I'm like, really? I didn't realize it's just this. That's amazing. All right, so a few notes here is that the Famicom board was always meant to support AV output, as evidenced by the twin Famicom and also the NES, which has similar video and mono audio output as the twin. Or the AV Famicom here, which supports the standard Super Nintendo and beyond AV output in stereo, as well as a mono version that was developed, I believe, specifically for this. And I do want to show you how this differs compared to the RF-only output versus the AV Famicom. But first, I'm super curious what's actually inside this thing. This is a very clean mod where this thin cable comes right out the player 2 port right there. Others cut holes somewhere in the chassis and it's just, or like come out the front here. It's just not as nice looking. This is a very tasteful, clean modification to the console. All right, let's take a look inside. Fortunately, this is fairly easy to do. There's just 6 screws. Although there appears to be a security label. Whatever. Just gonna poke a hole in that right there. All right, we're gonna have to move this stuff if we're gonna really look at the guts of this thing. Better. Wow. So there's not really much to it. So let's zoom in here. Some sweet tape right there. See what we got here. So the yellow for the video looks like it's routing all the way around here for some reason. I don't know what this is doing, but maybe someone who actually knows about electronics does. And then it comes right out to this port right here. And despite that, it's not really giving out stereo sound. We have our red and white, so our right and left sound channels connected to these ports here. I mean, this seems like a pretty simple mod. Okay, so after removing all 6 of these screws and flipping this thing over to find that whatever black box item is on the other side of this board is under this shield here, I'm just gonna leave it alone and let's just see if it works. Maybe someone who knows about Famicom mods can fill in the comments. Okay, I have my 3 AV capable consoles here for a little bit of comparison shopping. The modded Famicom, of course, the AV Famicom, and the twin Famicom all have AV outputs. And we're going to use this right here, since everyone's talking about it after E3. But before we do the AV part, I want to show RF and how it differs so that you understand why I wanted this mod so bad. So first we're on channel 96 here. After we did our first Famicom Dojo video where we discussed how to tune your TV in the US. So in our updated family computer video, we had a fun little graphic that just sort of, well, I'll just bring it up here. There's an overlap, so we got, it's about right here. There's a gap here. In the Japanese version, well, there's no gap. And that gap is because in the US specification, that is actually used for radio transmissions. But one problem using RF in the US is that because those were reserved for audio broadcasts, you can get some interference. You can see there's some video interference right now on channel 96, and on channel 95, well, you can't really hear that, but on this channel there's video interference, and that's much, much worse. Despite the AV mod, the Famicom still has its RF hooked up, so let's just give that a shot real quick. Power. So let's give that a shot real quick. Oh, that's terrible. Look at all that interference. That's nasty. We're gonna want channel 95, I think. All right, down 95 with the audio interference. Much better. And you can't really see it here, but there's interference in the colors here. So the picture's kind of flickering. Or how about this? We'll do a little video capture and then put it on the screen for everyone. So you get an idea now, the image is kind of juddering, and then there's lots of wavy lines. But most importantly, there are these vertical lines through the image, which is supposed to be a solid color. That's part of the RF interference pattern. All right, same Famicom, now with the AV connector. Already this looks better. The colors are a lot more solid. The image isn't jumping around on the screen anymore. I like it. Okay, so there's still some interference on the screen. This is supposed to be solid colors on the walls here. And you can really see it when you move left or right, how those lines stay in place on the screen, even though the image is moving around. Still, it's an improvement, but that's why we have the AV Famicom and the twin Famicom here to compare against. All right, let's give it a whirl. Oh my God. What? Yeah, there are no vertical interference patterns in this at all. This is really good. This is also the reason, so when the NES2 came out, it was RF only. Maybe the presence of the RF components on the Famicom still with the AV modder was causing a similar issue, but people complained of the vertical lines. There are a few NES2s floating around out there that were sent back to Nintendo and given back with an AV mod that uses the multi-out like the AV Famicom does. So if you have the presence of mind to complain back in 1994, you probably have one. Wow, I mean, a big reason to have the Famicom still is to have the microphone and the controller here. So I guess the last thing to try is the twin Famicom here. That's powerful. Okay. Oh my God. I feel like I wasted my money. This looks just as good as the AV Famicom. Maybe the AV Famicom looks a little bit better. I can see some interference on here, but it's definitely less noticeable than the AV modded Famicom. And that's the whole thing. Like the point is like the AV Famicom doesn't have the microphone, but the Twin does. And the Twin on top of that has a disk system built in. I mean, mine's broken right now, but we said it on the podcast before, but we've called the Twin Famicom the superior Famicom system to own, and I guess it's still true. The only drawback, and this is so minor, is that the Twin Famicom only has mono audio out, whereas the AV Famicom and my mod here can both utilize a stereo out, which uses the mono splitter. In the case of the Twin here, you actually need to buy a little piece of hardware to do the splitting for you, which is super cheap and not really a drawback at all. You should probably have one of these anyway. Oh man. Well, that's the review of my AV modded Famicom. Pretty cool, I guess. Damn it!
Famicom Dojo.
Well, that's the review of my AV modded Famicom. Pretty cool, I guess. Still gonna use it in another video. Damn it!
Famicom Dojo.
Really? That's the takeaway? That the best Famicom to own is your broken twin Famicom? Really? What about this? This is the best one to own. This is a turbo twin. It's got the turbo on the controllers as well as the microphone. Longer cables. Actually, they are so long that my room is not big enough to accommodate the longer cables. But that says more about my room. I'd say this one is the best one. I mean, don't get me wrong. A twin is good, but you've got a broken drive in that. I mean, you should have really, just replaced the... I was supposed to send you this, wasn't I? These replacement bands. This is awkward. Man, I hope I didn't forget to send Sean anything else.